Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, November the 6th. It is voting day. There's a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. This is Sports Freak from the D, and let's talk real sports. Let's talk with the World Series, which just ended last week, a couple of weeks, actually. But anyway, the better team won. We crowned a new champion, the Boston Red Sox, which is very fitting because they were the best team all year long. From the very start of the season, they pummeled everyone that they faced. And they were built to beat you in many different ways. They could outpitch you, they could outhit you, and they could outdefense you. Either way, you should make your choice. The Yankees thought they could out home run them to death. Hey, Boston did a job on them. I'll get back to those guys in a minute. But anyway, that three-headed monster that they have in the outfield, that could be the best outfield defense I've seen in all my life. Could be the best outfield defense of all time. I mean, defensively, they were just incredible. You couldn't get a base hit in the gap on these guys. But anyway, some of the things that I see that the Yankees have to do, they have to make moves to combat these guys, okay? They have to bolster up their starting rotation. I saw a couple of things that I would like to see. I would like to see them sign A.J. Happ. I'd like to see him back in pinstripes. He had a good showing in pinstripe. Sabathia could be back in pinstripe. I would like to see him back as a fifth starter, maybe fourth or fifth starter. I would also like to see him see what they could get for Sonny Gray. Listen, Sonny Gray might benefit immensely by a change of scenery. Okay, he's still a good pitcher. He's just better than what he showed in New York. I've seen this before. I saw this in the mid to late '80s when the Yankees signed Ed Whitson out of San Diego. Whitson was a good pitcher before, and he was a good pitcher after. But when he came to New York, he was literally booed out of New York. He couldn't pitch whenever they were at home. He could only pitch when they were on the road, just like Sonny Gray. There's nothing wrong with that. At New York, it's kind of different, and you have to have mentality to play there. You have to learn how to accept sometimes you're going to fail, and they're going to let you know when you fail. You just can't take it personally, and that's something that Sonny Gray, being as young he still is, couldn't handle it. But there's another guy out there that I would love to see him in pinstripes, and that's Patrick Corbin from Arizona. Patrick Corbin has always been a lifelong fan. He was a lifelong fan of Andy Pettitte. He's a free agent. Yankees can go and get him. Don't worry about the Harpers. Don't worry about the Machados, okay? We have internal people that can do the job that those guys can. Okay, so let's go after pitching, and pitching, because that's how Boston won, with pitching. Of course, they beat the heck out of everybody. But that's it. New crown champion. As much as I hate to say it, the Red Sox, they have been the dominant team in the last 15 years. I think they won 4 World Series in the last 15 years, so they are the team to beat. From here on out, they are the team to go after. So, Yanks, let's go get them. Now we're going to talk about college football. College football is building. It keeps building. Every week is something different. Every week is something exciting. I love what they say about Alabama. Every time they're going to face somebody, this team can give them problems. These teams have certain offensive weapons that could give Alabama problems. No. Okay? I tell you what I think of Alabama. They should schedule their games on Sunday. You couldn't know what I mean? Because these guys are that good. It's Alabama and absolutely everybody else, including Clemson. Clemson has shown the propensity to be a very, very good team. But I really don't know how good they are because they're playing against ACC defenses. Louisville has the second worst defense in the ACC. So scoring 77 on Louisville, hey, that's nothing great, okay? But anyway, some of the exciting things that I've seen. Florida has come down to earth a little bit, but they're still a good team. They are still a very good team. allowing Missouri to come into your home swamp and beat you, that's a little bit hard to take. But again, I emphasize they're still a good team. Georgia had the loss against LSU, but they come back strong. Okay, they beat Florida at the Gator Bowl, and then they turn around and beat Kentucky, who happens to be a very good team also. Okay. The one disappointment that I've been finding is Ohio State. Ohio State loses a game and then struggles to beat Nebraska. Come on, give me a break, all right? If you wanna be one of the big boys, you gotta play like the big boys, okay? And struggling against Nebraska wasn't it. Now you're gonna go and at Michigan State, Lansing, East Lansing. You gotta play against Michigan State, who still has a very good defense. I smell an upset or a very tight game there. The other upset that I'm not seeing an upset here. I'm just seeing not covering the points is Wisconsin going to Penn State. You talk about two underachieving teams right there. A lot of things we're expecting out of those teams. They haven't delivered, and Penn State especially has gone out the door. So even though Penn State is giving away 8 points, I think that's a lot of points to be given Wisconsin. Okay. Another good game out there. South Carolina going to the Swamp and playing Florida. Wow. Okay. South Carolina is playing 6.5. Let me see. No, I still like Florida. I like Florida by more than 6.5. That's the whole honest truth. However, where I do see a slight upset is Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a far better team. But Oklahoma has a propensity to give, 45, 50 points? Well, guess what Oklahoma State still does very well? They score a lot of points. And to top it all off, they're getting 18. Oh, yeah. I would definitely take that point. Oklahoma State in the points. Kentucky. Kentucky is going to Tennessee. Kentucky's coming back from that loss to Georgia, huh? You know what? Tennessee is an up-and-coming team. So is Kentucky. It could be an upset, but that is a good thing, a game to watch just because you've seen some of the future of the Southeastern Conference there. Auburn at Georgia. Now, here's Auburn. Auburn has been going south for a while. And Gus Malzahn is feeling the pressure of his seat. Okay, his seat's kind of getting a little bit warm. However, Georgia's giving away 14.5 points. Holy cow, Batman. That's a lot of points, even though they're playing at Athens. Athens is not that far from Auburn, okay? So I would take Auburn in the points. Now, and an interesting game in my neck of the woods is Clemson going to BC. Well, if I'm not mistaken, BC beat Clemson a couple of years back or gave him a hard time. Ah, boy, BC's getting 20 points, huh? Clemson's on the roll. They beat the crap out of Florida State, but that's because they wore them out. They were the better team anyway, but they wore them out. And the 77 points against Louisville, I don't take that one too serious. But if Clemson is going to show that they're in the same class as Alabama, they got to go out and beat BC. Okay, they got to go out and beat Boston College, which happens to be a very good team at home. They're playing at Boston College, where the weather might be a factor. Okay, it's cold, and it might be some snow or anything. But it should be a heck of a weekend. The other aspect of it all is Michigan. Baby, you're on the way to there. I can actually think that you are going to beat Ohio State. You are. You have to. That is the final culmination of the 3-point prong that I had for you for the beginning of the season. One was beat a top-ranked team, top 25, which you did. One, beat your in-state rival, Michigan State, which you did. And 2 and 3, beat your out-of-state rival, which is Ohio State, and I think you're going to do that. By the way, if there is one team that can actually give Alabama problems, it's called the Wolverine defense. Okay? A lot of those guys, they should be playing on Sundays. So that Michigan defense is top-notch, and they can keep that game close And I got a feeling we're going to be able to see that at the end of the season. Okay? There's many things going out there right now, a lot of movement here and that. But from what you saw out of LSU and Alabama, it seems to me that every time there's talk about a team that can give Alabama problems, Alabama has a knack of taking it personal. And they're going to go out on the field and just beat you to death. Okay? And they do. And they just do it week after week. If you notice at the beginning of the season how many teams were said, oh, this team can keep problems. Oh, this team can give them problems. Oh, Jimbo knows the Southeastern Conference. Oh, boy. Nope, not really. Nope. Like I said, it's Alabama and everybody else. Disappointing teams in my eyes, besides my own Florida State Seminoles, it's Miami. Miami, wow, man, damn it. Losing against Duke. Duke is a good team, but that Real Miami doesn't lose to Duke. Real Miami doesn't lose to Virginia. Okay? Now, and I was surprising this past weekend, Houston with a great record. They go to SMU and they get their butts kicked? Give me a break, all right? Oklahoma, yeah, you beat Texas Tech 51-46. Ooh, great defense. Not. Now I'm going to talk about my boys. I could take the loss to Clemson because Clemson was the better team. But I can't take when it's apparent some people quit. Okay? With the exception of Brian Burns, who was still playing hard halfway through the fourth quarter, I take umbrage to some of those players who quit. You know who you are. Okay, like I said, I don't mind losing, but give me maximum effort. Now, Mr. Taggart just finished giving up his play calling duties. I was a fan of Taggart. I still am. But he came in offering this fast-moving offense, quick strike, and this and that. You know what, man? I still don't see it. I don't see it. Okay? So giving up your play calling duties, that may be a good thing. Right now, I want to see more fight out of this team. Before Jimbo left, we had a top 5 recruiting classes for 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row. Where are those guys? We're not 4 and 5. If we were that good, if our recruiting was that good, where are those guys? Okay, let's coach and put these guys in position for them to succeed. Okay, we must have the most undisciplined team in the NCAA. Now, this is nothing new. I realize this is definitely not something new. This has been going on in years and years, even during the Bobby Bowden years. Okay, but those guys, they would put it all on the field. They were good enough that they could get away with giving you 10 to 12 penalties per game. Those guys were that good. These guys, I don't know. I mean, they're taking penalties that is like, what were you thinking? Penalties after the play, what were you thinking? So I go to the coaching on that. Okay? Coach them up. Don't coach them down. Don't pat them on the back and say how great they are. It's great to be a Seminole because we're FSU. No. Let's prove it on the field. Let's coach these guys up. I'm tired of getting our butts kicked by teams that we used to beat the crap out of. By the way, this Saturday, we're facing Notre Dame at South Bend. Oh, well, we're going to come back with throwback uniforms, the ones we wore in 2003 last time we went to South Bend and we beat them 37-0. Look, man, all these historical things, they're nice and pretty. But if you don't win on the field, what the heck does that matter? What uniform they're wearing? Give me a break, all right? We're coming off 41 straight winning seasons. That's a record. The record's actually 43 or 44 by Notre Dame, but they did that in the turn of the century. So we're still in that record mode. 41 straight winning seasons. We're in danger right now of not making that. I don't like that, okay? Hoping to see you soon. Hope to hear from some of you. Let me remind you, today is voting day. Go out and vote. Use your constitutional right to get what you want. Okay? All I'm asking out of all of you is ask yourself, Am I better off today than I was 4 years ago? If your answer is yes, go out and vote. If the answer is no, go out and vote. Either way, you make the difference. Vote. It is your constitutional right. Thank you all, and hope to hear from you all, and talk to you all next week. Bye.